Good morning, everybody. Jeff Lightsy Jr. here with the Black Boss Channel. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe. Now, we're here today to talk about Kyrie Irving again. Now, we just spoke about Kyrie Irving yesterday, but things are getting even worse in Brooklyn, right? It's getting so bad that national analysts are saying Kyrie Irving should retire. Stephen A. Smith, the well-respected, highly publicized, just great overall sports analyst from ESPN, is saying he thinks Kyrie Irving should retire. Don't take it from me. Let's listen to Stephen A. say it himself. I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to tune into what Stephen A. had to say for a little bit and why he believes Kyrie Irving should retire. Now, this, like I said, is from Stephen A. Smith of ESPN. Here's what he got to say.
No, he's not. He's not worth it at all. A matter of fact, let me say this straight up and down. I think Kyrie Irving should retire. I think he should announce his retirement today. Clearly, you don't want to play basketball bad enough. Now, you might still want to get the $33.4 million, obviously, devoid of some of the doctor pay you'll receive because you haven't complied with safety protocol measures, and as a result, the league is going to determine when you come back instead of yourself, or taking personal leave and obviously forfeiting game checks or whatever the case may be. But still in all, at the end of the day, you know what, you're still going to get, in excess of $20 million at the very least, even though you're on the books of $33.4 million this year. Kyrie Irving has not prioritized basketball. I'm not saying he doesn't want to play all together. I'm saying he hasn't prioritized it. And how fair is that to the Brooklyn Nets? How fair is that to Sean Marks? How fair is that to Steve Nash, a coach that he endorsed bringing on board, a coach that he wanted, a coach that he fully supported? How fair is that to his brother, Kevin Durant? Now, we can sit up there and say what we want about Kevin Durant, temperament.
All right, that's Stephen A's got some good points there, right? So here's the thing. Kyrie Irving, if you didn't watch my last video, Kyrie Irving has not played. He hasn't played the last 5 games, right? He hasn't played since the storming of the Capitol on January 6th. And it's been, quote, listed as personal reasons. But what makes this story kind of weird is the fact that the team didn't know Kyrie Irving wasn't going to show up to play, right? Like the team's prepping and getting ready and all this stuff to play a basketball game, after the storming of the Capitol, and Kyrie Irving's like, "Hey, y'all, I'm good. I ain't gonna play." And it sounds like he's just upset with what's taking place in America, and rightfully so, right? Like black people have been getting the short end of the stick in America for a very long time. We all know this, but at the end of the day, we can't just not show up to work, right? You can't, if you run a business, you can't just not show up to run your business and expect to get the results that you've been getting for putting up good performances, right? So if you're a basketball player and you're employed by the Brooklyn Nets, and say you can be rightfully upset. I mean, that to me, what happened at the Capitol wasn't black people business. So I don't really understand getting super upset about that. But hey, to each his own, right? Like I'm not one to judge Kyrie Irving for getting upset or whatever. Do what you got to do. It wasn't no black folks that was harmed by that. So it don't really bother me that much. I mean, to me, it's just that's what folks like that have been doing for the duration of the history of America, right? So I wasn't too crazy about that, but for him it's different, whatever. But you can't just not show up to work and then to be upset and say, man, forget it, I'm not playing basketball because of what happened, and then to be caught on camera at a birthday party, right, with no mask, violating league protocol as far as the COVID-19 and stuff, right? So you can't do both. You can't come to collect the check and not work. Like you can't, say I want to make money playing basketball but not play basketball. Like that's not how it works, Kyrie. If you want to dedicate your life to social justice like Colin Kaepernick, do that. Colin's not in the league because they blackballed him. It's a different situation, but he has dedicated his life to trying to make change in the world for black folks. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm all we be one on this platform all forever and always. But you can't expect to still collect the NBA check. And that's what Stephen A is saying. Like you want to use the NBA platform and collect the NBA check, but not play basketball. That's not how it works. Kyrie Irving, that is not. The problem I have with Kyrie Irving with this is the fact that he's not speaking. The Nets don't know what the hell's going on. We are all making assumptions. People like Stephen A are trying to get stuff sourced and stuff. Like nobody knows what the hell is going on through Kyrie's head because he's not speaking. If you want to make a statement, if you want people to follow you, if you want people to know what you're doing, you got to tell them. You can't just not show up to work. A lot of us got jobs. What happens when you no call, no show if you ain't the boss? And Kyrie's not the boss of the Brooklyn Nets. He's an employee of the Brooklyn Nets. His employer is the Brooklyn Nets, in the which is under the NBA. What happens when you don't show up? You get fired. For the folks that got jobs, if you don't show up to work, a no call, no show, you get fired. Now, Kyrie Irving has a longer leash at his employer because he's really good at basketball, but this, like, he's driving the team crazy. This is just insane. Like, he is a really, really, really talented basketball player. But is he worth this? Is he worth all of this? Now, if he comes back, averages 30 points, and the Brooklyn Nets go on to win the championship, all will be forgotten. This story will go away just like that. It'll go away faster than it ever appeared. But right now, that doesn't seem to be the case because nobody knows what Kyrie Irving's thinking because Kyrie Irving isn't saying anything. That is the issue he runs into all the time. That is the problem that he's running into. He ran into it in Boston. He had the issues in Cleveland. And now this in Brooklyn. Kyrie, the one thing is starting to follow Kyrie Irving. It's drama. He had drama in Cleveland. He won a championship in Cleveland for the Cavaliers. First title in Cleveland in almost 60 years. First organization in the city of Cleveland with a championship in almost 60 years, almost 6 decades. And he won a title there and won it out with the greatest player, who I think is the greatest player to ever play basketball in the NBA, LeBron James. And he won it out. He wanted his own show. He wanted to be the lead guy. He gets that in Boston. And they play better when he's off the court than when he's on the court. The guys they shed no tears when Kyrie Irving walked out the door in Boston. What? It's supposed to be your best player. They didn't shed no tears. There was no sadness. There was no burning of the jerseys. They were just glad to get the hell out of town. And they were a better team when he was off the court. It's weird. And then he gets to Brooklyn. And he criticizes the team. Kevin Durant last year, he criticized all the players. And they played better when he was off the court than he was on the court. And he was off the court a lot because he's always hurt. What? That's weird. And now this, missing games. He's going to miss probably approximately roughly 10 games between just taking off for personal reasons and now the COVID stuff. So he's going to miss close to 10 games. Hell, they only played 9 games so far in the season. This is weird, man. This is strange. Very, very strange. This is a very, very talented player, but there's something going on there, man. There's something going on. And like I said, if he comes back and hoops, all will be forgiven. We'll forget all about this. We'll forget. This won't even be, we'll have to archive this because people aren't even going to remember that all of this took place 10 games into the new season. But if it doesn't work, and if it self-implodes or Brooklyn loses early, people are going to remember this. And then they're going to look back and remember what happened in Boston. And then they're going to look back and remember what happened in Cleveland. It's strange, man. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Once again, I'm Jeff Lightsy Jr. with the Black Boss Channel. And be sure to follow me on Instagram at JLightsy7. I post content on there all the time. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hit the thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe. I'll see you next time.